carry this person. But guys, we can actually do that for ourselves before we pass on. We can actually take care of that ourselves before we pass on. But before we get into that, as usual, my name is Lydia Tet Olet. I liked it when somebody one day said, I was actually watching, somebody was live and they saw me watching and they were like, Lydia Tet Olet. So I like that. So from today, that's my introduction. Lydia Tet Olet. Yes, from Kenya, Wakanda land. All right. So I'm in the studio today with somebody who is actually a specialist as well in insurance. So as he talk, or as we discuss this, because I'm also a specialist in insurance, as you know, I'm an entrepreneur, so I do a lot of things. As we talk about this, it's something that we know, and if you feel like, oh, I want insurance, but I'm not sure, can I have it? What's the damage? We're here. We can always help you. So I'd like my other colleague to introduce himself, and we can start.
Hello everyone, good evening. Thanks for having me here, Lydia. My name is Chidozie Maduka. I'm a specialist with insurance and protection, income protection, critical illness. Most insurance covers, that's what we do.
Okay, all right, cool, thank you. And we also work for, so just also say the company that we work for, and we are regulated by who, so that it will give people more confidence out there. Because the thing is, sometimes when I tell people about insurance, because you know I'm from Kenya, they think it's behind my village. They're like, yeah, but what company do you work for? Who do you work for? But okay, we are actually working for a company, and also we are regulated by a body. So if you can say that, please.
Yeah, okay, we actually work for Precise Protect Limited. Precise Protect Limited is an insurance company, broker, who covers all the biggest insurance companies in United Kingdom. And Precise Protect is being regulated by the FCA, which means they are covered and they are allowed to operate in United Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. And also, as Precise Protect is actually just an umbrella. So an umbrella that covers us and governs us as we work as we work for other companies. Every company, I don't like mentioning companies, because sometimes when you mention, people start going and Googling. So instead of coming to you, they go straight to them. Yeah. So every single company in the UK that you've heard of, when you're driving, when you're in the bus, when you're listening to the radio, because now there's a lot of advertisements about insurance actually in the radio, or even if you're going on Facebook,
on your television as well,
on TV,
your Facebook page,
yes,
Twitter, link it. So, in fact, the biggest insurance companies we have in the UK, the first 17 most trusted and biggest insurance companies in the United Kingdom.
We work for them.
We work for them. We cover all of them.
Did you hear that? We cover all of them. And the thing is, I like what you just said, that the biggest that are trusted. So the thing is, there are some companies, of course, no mentioning names whatsoever, there are some companies that are not trusted.
Definitely. There are some companies, excuse me, we cannot deal with. Because why we are here, why we as a consultant, is to make sure our clients gets their claim. So when I said 17 biggest insurance firms in the United Kingdom, those firms are firms that whatever you're claiming, so far you never lie from onset. Your claim will be 100%.
Provided you didn't lie.
You didn't lie, yeah.
Because we have that. So we have two things. So I like what you say. So we have two things. We have companies, okay, that are not trusted, which means that when it comes to claim, you struggle because they're not trusted, or they'll tell you they've gone bust, or they're not regulated by anybody. So because they're not regulated by anybody,
there's no control.
Yes, so they can just go in liquidation anytime. And when they go in liquidation, that means that they don't owe you anything, because nobody regulates them. So nobody can stand for you and fight for you. So that's company. And then second as well, we have also people. So we have two things. We have dodgy people and we have dodgy companies. So these two go hand in hand. So we also have dodgy people. So dodgy people are the ones that will give you the wrong information, thinking that they're duping. Okay, that's the word that we use, duping or lying to insurance, so that they can get something out of it. But what they don't realize is, before you make a claim,
okay, now that you mentioned about lying to consultants, it's very important that you disclose everything to your consultant, because if you remove one pin, if let's say it's 7 pin, and you removed one, and when there's a claim to make and they find out it was 7 pin but you only gave them 6 pin, you're not going to get anything from the insurance firm. Which is why I always advise my clients, please, I need a full disclosure. Disclose everything from A to Z. Whatever, if the insurance company accepts you, they protect you, they cover you. If they don't, you're not covered. That's not the end of the world. But the worst thing that will happen to a client is 20 years down the line, he paid all his premium and went to claim. He found out that he lied because of one element out of 200 or 100. So the thing is, make sure you give your consultant full disclosure.
And the other thing as well that I find about the disclosure thing, I'm happy that you brought that up, is the fact that some people, because we are insurance advisors, so they normally feel that I don't want to tell Lydia my things, or I don't want to tell Chidozi what I'm going through, because they're going to judge me or they're going to tell someone else. But then here comes that somebody who has immigration issues, you go to the lawyer and you tell the lawyer everything about you, not even knowing this lawyer can call and say, oh, so and so, so and so. And the same thing with the doctors as well. You go to the doctor and you say so and so. Yeah. So those people are under oath, that they are under oath really, because if they break that.
Not just under oath, that is the data protection issue. It's what I do is that if I encounter that kind of client, my first question is, when you go to your GP, do you tell your GP everything, or do you just tell your GP, I have only headache, meanwhile your tummy is suffering you? Or do you tell your GP, I have this, you don't have this? It's the same thing with us. Whatever you discuss with us is
private and
confidential. Yeah. Because we signed data breaching forms. Yeah. Any breach, there's a fine for it. And you might lose your license. Yeah. And even go to prison.
Go to prison for it.
So once you handle anybody's data, anybody's details, it's confidential.
And
you don't give it out to even to your son or your daughter or your family. If it's for insurance purposes, it's for insurance purposes. And once the insurance have been keyed into risk, you don't have any access to those documents anymore.
Exactly.
Apart from the client's name or phone number. Any other information on that form, you don't have access to them anymore. So I always try to explain this to my clients. So just the way you feel free to explain to your immigration lawyer, your medical doctor, your pastor, it's the same thing with us. We are here to help, not to kill the person or not to expose anybody. Even if you're illegal, it's none of my business. All I'm here to do is to give insurance, cover you, protect you and your loved ones. That is it.
And the thing is as well is, when somebody is actually taking insurance, we have more of your data, more than your doctor. Exactly. Because your doctor don't have your bank details.
Exactly.
Your doctor, there are some things that your doctor don't have, but for us, we have everything.
Exactly.
So you actually need to trust us. We cannot, because I have a family. I don't want to lose my job because I went and I blabbed that, oh, so and so is ABCD. So like you said, in fact, the reason why I really love working for Precise Protect, and Precise Protect, what they do, they actually, the way they are called, Precise Protect, they actually protect you. They protect your data so much that sometimes they make us upset. We're like, that's my client. Why is it that you don't want to give me the details? Immediately, we put your things on the data. Immediately, we put all your things on the portal, and they've gone through. That's it. We are not allowed to have your information again.
We don't even see it.
We don't even see it. So sometimes you call the office and you're like, sorry, can I have this glass? They will not give it to us. So that's how much Precise Protect protects your data. So this is just for you to feel comfortable to talk to insurance advisors. And it's not just us. It's not just the two of us in the studio here. It's every insurance advisor out there, whether they're working for whichever company or whichever company. They are not allowed to talk about your data. They're not allowed to give your data out. They're not allowed to talk about anything that you've discussed with them. Is private and confidential. So guys, feel free to come to your advisors, because the other thing as well, I see a lot of people going on Google, and they get insurance from Google. How can you get insurance from Google? You're getting this insurance. Insurance is something so sensitive and something that you need every single small print for somebody to
explain to you.
So you've got it from the Google, and you've got it cheaper than maybe what Chidozi will give you, Lydia will give you with £10 or £15, and you're happy saying, oh, but I got it cheap on Google. I got it. But what's the disadvantages of Google?
I've got 2 or 3 clients who actually went online to buy insurance, and after discussing with them, with due diligence, I said, okay, can I review that your policy you bought? And unfortunately for them, all they did was decreasing terms, which means it's very cheap, and you, let's say your lump sum is £1,000. By the time it's 10 years, that £1,000 goes down to £200.
And that
and your premium as well might decrease. We decrease as well. So you think you're covered.
Yeah.
But at the time you need it, you find out that your loved ones has
nothing left.
Nothing left.
Because they took the wrong policy.
Because they took the wrong policy terms, because it was cheaper. And the add-ons on these insurance policies, they don't know about it. Like the fracture cover, global treatment, most of them don't know about it. All they need is just life insurance. But with these add-ons and the trust,
they don't do trust.
They don't do trust. So these are the main reasons why you need a consultant around. Because the consultant will put you in trust, put your cover in trust. The consultant will advise you properly with the add-ons that comes with it. Some of these add-ons are free. But because you don't know about it, you didn't sign for it. And the website owner is happy to give you the insurance for £5 a month.
Yeah.
Which is very, very, I mean, for the person buying that insurance, he or she thinks she has bought the right thing, but nothing. He has just wasted his 10 years or £5 every month.
And the reason why, I mean, today is even, I'm happy that we are discussing this, is the fact that we've seen a lot of people now taking insurance. So I don't know if it's COVID, or why do you think now there's a lot of people? Because now, every day I get 2 or 3 people calling me, I want insurance. 2 or 3 people calling me almost every day. If a day passes, it's at least 2 people have called me. But before, I was the one chasing people and calling people, but now people are just calling that they want insurance. Why do you think that is?
I think the issue here is the COVID exposes a lot of things, and it opens a lot of people's eyes to see that they need some cover for their loved ones. And it's not only you that people are chasing not to have insurance. I've got about 4 or 5 people calling me, sending me WhatsApp messages. I booked an appointment with them, but I have to take my time because I still have other people I have to sort out. So the COVID has made a lot of people think twice about this life. Fortunately, some of us lost people during the COVID, and some of these people died without any plan, without any cover.
Yes.
Me personally, I have a very good friend. May his soul rest in peace. He died, and unfortunately, he was a good guy working in a good company, but he never had insurance. Although I spoke to him before COVID, he said yes, he will think about it. In fact, when he was supposed to come and do it, COVID kicked in. So we are waiting to do it online before he contacted COVID and lost his life. And people were going for GoFundMe, and they tried to raise money for the funeral and everything. Nothing was coming. But if he had insurance, I think that insurance cover would have covered his funeral expenses, every other thing, and leave some money for his children. Now the family has to contribute to train the children, and the worst part of it is that his mother is still alive.
Wow, that's so sad.
So
And
that's so sad. So
people even take loans
for
these
funeral.
things. Yeah,
And now, who will pay for that loan? The family.
the family. So you've left the family in what state? and
What
they
state
were-
that they were before you know. So
passed
the
on.
thing is, COVID has made a lot of people think twice about life and about issues. So now they need cover for their family, they need cover for their loved ones, and the end thing now is that the university students, their fees are going up. So they still need insurance for all this stuff to cover their children's school fees and everything.
You know, you're talking about WhatsApp and thing. I had a client, of course, private confidentiality, but I'm just giving this as a testimony. I had a client of mine, and they're a couple, and the man passed on. And I saw it on social media. I saw it on social media, and I saw the name, and the name sounded so familiar. I was like, I know this person. I think this person has insurance. So I was so happy because I was like, I wasn't happy because the person is dead, definitely, God forbid. But I was happy because at least they have insurance in
Before
place.
they die, yeah.
Yeah, so they're not going to ask people for money, to beg people for money. So when I checked, I actually found that this person had not signed the form. I was so heartbroken that I called the wife. In fact, the wife called me that night and she said, what about my insurance? And I said, you had not signed your insurance. So the thing is, these people actually took insurance, but the signing of the insurance, because once you take insurance, we send you a form that you have to read and sign. If you don't read and sign it, we cannot give insurance because we need to know that you understand what you're taking.
Exactly.
So they didn't sign that back. 5 months, and God is my witness, 5 months later, the man died. But they had not signed the insurance. And they only had, it was only 50K, it was only 50,000, but that 50,000 is a lot of money. So they now had to start doing GoFundMe, WhatsApp, they're begging people, they were like, oh, people, money is not enough, money is not enough. It was so difficult for this woman. At the end, she took out a loan. And she called me and she said, it was sad. I was really upset with myself as well, but not so much with myself because I did try to call them and say, sign the document. But she said, can you backdate it? And I said, we can't do that.
No, you can't do that.
Fraud.
That's fraud.
I wouldn't even do that for myself. So guys, insurance is important. But now I am happy, to be honest, because I've seen especially a lot of my people taking insurance so much. So that is good that people are taking insurance now. I think
another good thing you mentioned this is that when you send your form to a client, because some people made that mistake and the client will not sign the form and he or she will be thinking it's covered.
Yes.
But when you don't sign the form and send it back, you are not covered.
You have to send the form back.
You have to send the form back, because if he or she has sent that form back to you, you would have followed it up and make sure he is covered.
Yeah, but they didn't sign it.
But they didn't sign it.
Yeah. But I'm happy because of the amount of people now taking insurance in the black community, because this wasn't our tradition. It's now a custom to do insurance. It's especially with the Kenyan community. Kenyan community, we are umoja. Umoja means together. We always do harambe. Harambe is, we used to do a lot of that. Even before you get married, even if people are coming to the UK, we do harambe for them. But things have changed. Things have changed. Now a lot of people are struggling. So you can actually do that. You know, one of my neighbors, he's Kenyan, so I have 2 Kenyan neighbors, which is very good. He passed on my house and was like, we were talking about this lady that passed on, and they're asking for money for GoFundMe and WhatsApp. And somebody put him in the group and he left. So I was telling him, why did you leave? He said, I can't do that, because he personally knew the lady, and the lady was spending she was living the high life. And now she's gone. There's no money left for her for her funeral. So he left the group. So he said, Lydia, even insurance can be £40 a month. Somebody can be spending that £40 a month.
Yeah.
In something, they can be spending that £40 a day.
Every week, every Friday night.
Every Friday, so £40. Instead of that £40 a month to pay for your insurance.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think we've spoken so much about insurance that people are now starting to.
Before we move on, you see why the black communities find it difficult to buy insurance. I don't blame them sometimes, because where they are coming from, insurance don't pay there most times.
Yeah, most time insurance don't pay.
And even if you said the whole truth of your life, in Africa they still find way not to pay you. But good thing now is working now in Africa as well. I have got a lot of friends working in insurance company in Africa. We exchange notes and everything, and they tell me how they are now paying up and a lot of people are now buying insurance. You know.
Yeah. Okay. So I also want to just say thank you to everybody who is watching us today. Thank you so much, and keep on sharing the video. Keep on sharing so that everybody can be educated. Don't be greedy with information. They say knowledge is power, but it's only power if it's implemented. Okay, so thank you so much, guys who are watching, and please keep on sharing the clip. Share, and share. Now I have a question here. Somebody asked, will the monthly payment be taken when the client has not signed the form?
No,
it can't be. The monthly payment won't be taken. Now there's two forms, right? There's one that you have to send it to the office, so the office can say, okay, we send it to the insurance company to give you insurance. If you've not signed that form, money cannot be taken. So if money is not taken from your account, that means you're not covered. So if anything was to happen to you, how do you expect insurance to pay you? Like this lady, how did she actually expect insurance to pay her husband's death when they were not taking money from her account?
That's another big mistake. Insurance companies sometimes will pay you if you've signed the form, even without you paying your monthly premium.
Yes.
Because some of them will cover it for 90 days. Let's say the client is going to underwriting. Within that period, the client is waiting for the underwriting. He or she is covered.
Yes.
And they are not going to take any.
They will only take one premium.
They won't take any premium until they've given you
the money,
the policy, until they put in risk. Even if they put you in risk and decline later, they'll still refund you your money. So what advising the clients to do, or just sign the form, send it out immediately. So whatever happens, you've signed the form. You now ask your consultant or the company, I signed the form 20th of November and this is 20th of December. Why am I not covered?
Yeah.
That's why I have the case. But if you don't sign the form, you have no case. And if you don't pay your monthly premium, you have no case.
And the other thing as well, this is for the advisors out there. If you're an advisor and your client have signed the form, you better give that client insurance immediately, because if you're still waiting dilly-dally, you have too many clients, you're still key, put on this thing, and anything happen to a client, you'll be sued. You'll be in so much trouble. Because that client have signed the form already, so that form needs to go in immediately. I'm sure advisors out there knows this, but I'm just saying it because I've seen some clients, some advisors, they still have a long list of clients who they've not signed them in, so you need to do that. So the other thing that I want to talk about, because I don't want this to be too long, I just want it to be short. The other thing that makes me laugh, I don't know, anytime we have insurance and we give insurance to the men, anytime we insure the men, so we have beneficiaries, okay? So beneficiary is the person who is going to benefit from this money when you pass on. Most men, and I'm saying this most men because those are most of my clients and most of our clients, because in our company, Precise Protect, we are more than 280 people that work for the company. And all these 280 people, they have similar stories with what I'm about to share. Similar. Most men, when you give them insurance, they put their beneficiaries as their wives first, and then the children. Some men even just put the wife and say, or if anything happens to me, my wife will look after my children, so I don't need to put my children. They'll put their wives, which is good, or it is bad or good, I don't know, depending with the relationship you have with your husband. But when we give it to the women, again, most women, not all of them, and the story is the same. It cuts across all insurance people. The women, most of them, will only put their children or their mother. They will never put their husbands. Why? Why do you think this is?
The answer is not far anyway. The issue is that women believe that if they pass on, their husband might marry another woman, and when a man marries a new wife, definitely he may or may not neglect his children. Not purposely neglecting them, but the care will not be 100%. His attention will be divided. But a woman will most times never neglect their children.
But do you think it's fair for a woman to, instead of putting the husband, they put the mom? I can understand the children.
Yeah, because the mom will look. They believe their mom will look after their children. Because take for instance now, if a man marries another wife after his wife has gone, what do you think will happen to the children?
But the woman too can get married when the husband dies.
But the children will still remain with her.
But the children will remain with the husband as well.
But the care will not be there, because they will think the man his attention will be diverted.
Okay.
But the woman's attention will not be diverted that much to compare to men. Because the woman will look after her children, even if he has another children with the new husband, or her children.
But that's not always the case, is it?
But that's not always the case. I've got some clients that both of them had different insurance. The woman put her husband, the husband puts his wife.
Yeah. That's
so it's still not just. But from what I do ask my clients, why are you not putting your husband? I say, no, my husband is gonna get another wife. What do you think?
Yes, that's the thing. When you ask them, why are you not putting your husband? The answer is always the same.
When I keep giving you the same answer, so what do you conclude?
The answer is always the same.
So when they keep giving you the same answer, what do you conclude?
Yes.
I've asked a lot of people why. I say, no, my husband will marry another. What do you expect? My mother is there. She will take care of the kids, and the kids will be. And even one of my clients even told me that the man might use the money to marry another wife.
The husband is actually use the insurance money to marry another wife.
So what do you expect them? So I don't blame them somehow, but
no, I don't really blame them. But I just want to understand, because for me, marriage is something that I take personally. That's why probably I'm not married. But marriage to me is something that is very spiritual, and it's something that I think they should be trust 100%.
Marriage is honor.
So if I don't trust my husband to put him as my...
Yeah, you trust your husband, but you're not there. And you trust your husband. Did you trust your husband not to marry another woman? Why is it that my husband now trusts me so much that he puts me to be the beneficiary? Your husband trusts you, because even if you marry, those children are yours.
So, but the children not his.
The children are his, but he has given you the things to look after the children. But the woman feel that the husband will marry another woman, definitely.
Of course, that's always the answer.
Especially if the man is still young.
That's always the answer. And this is so funny. I think this is a really nice.
Especially if the man is young, you don't expect 40-year, 35-year or 50-year-old man to remain single.
Of course, they won't remain single, definitely. And the only thing is, they won't remain single. The woman won't remain single either. But the only thing is, there is no balance, because if the husband...
But for me, there's nothing is balanced in this world.
Nothing is balanced.
Nothing.
Well, you're right. So we have beneficiaries if somebody is doing the insurance. So make sure you put down your beneficiaries. That is something that a lot of advisors, or if you go and buy your insurance in Google, or you buy your insurance through the I don't want to mention those places, but there are some places that if you buy your insurance, is as good as not having insurance, to be honest. It's as good as not having insurance.
Just say it plain. The best thing, get a consultant. Sit down with your consultant. Discuss your insurance needs. Discuss every angle. Ask every question you need to ask. There are some questions you need to ask a human being, not internet. Internet will not answer all the questions you need.
Or the phone, because the phone, you don't even know who you're talking to.
And the phone,
other side.
sometimes you're talking to a machine, and the machine will be press 1, press 2, press 3. But this insurance has to do with trust. The main purpose of insurance is to protect your loved ones. If you don't put it in trust, you're not protecting them either. So it's like you're wasting money, or you're just giving the government another extra cash into their purse.
It's better not even to have one.
Exactly. So the best option, get a consultant, sit down with the consultant and discuss full options you need. Because
so it might not serve the purpose.
Going online, you just get something that will not serve the purpose of why you need insurance.
And getting, because normally as well, and this is something that I think is also important for our viewers to know, especially somebody who is either shopping around for insurance or thinking they want to have insurance. And I always say that you don't have to take insurance from me or from Chidozie, but at least have one. We have so many insurance advisors around, and make sure as well that if you're talking to an insurance advisor, they know what they're talking about. Because some of them also don't even know what they're doing, or they don't know what they're talking about. Maybe they just started working last month, so they don't know the ins and outs of insurance. So you have to be very careful, because this is something that will help your children someday. This is an investment. When you're entering into an investment, you have to be 100% sure of what you're investing or what you're entering into. So there's something as well that a lot of people come to me and say, oh, but so and so is paying £30. I had one of my clients last week. So she was like, but so and so is paying £30. Why is mine more than that? And I said, there's factors that you have to factor in when you're having your insurance. So one is age. So your friend is not the same age as you. That's one. Two is lifestyle. Okay.
Health.
And lifestyle is BMI. Height and weight. Or if you're a smoker or not. So that's two. So that's lifestyle.
And sickness as well. Underlying sickness, if there's any.
And then number 3. So number 1 is age. Number 2 is lifestyle. Number 3 is medical, right?
Medical issues, yeah.
So medical issue. That's number 3. And then number 4 is term. Term, what does term mean? Explain what term means.
Yeah, term means the length of your insurance cover. Some people take shorter terms to pay shorter premium. Some people take longer terms to cover them until they are retired or until they are old, very old.
Okay.
So, but my advice is, if I have to advise you, take longer terms, no matter the amount. Because even if you retire, and after your retirement you don't have any cover, it's still like you never had insurance at all.
I like the explanation. Simple layman term, length of insurance cover. Now when it comes to term, some people always say, oh, I have insurance, and I ask them what's the term. No, it's life insurance. Life insurance, my friend, has a term, and that term, just as Chidozie said, length of insurance cover. It can be 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, 40 years, but there's a length, and that's called term. Okay, so that's number 4. Number 5 is sum assured. So explain to us what sum assured is.
Sum assured is the amount you choose to be paid when you need to make your claims. Ranges from 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 250,000, 500,000,
1 million.
1 million, depending on how much you are willing to pay every month. Because that's another factor that makes the premium to be high or goes up. So if you take 50,000 sum assured, you can't pay the same premium with somebody that paying 500,000. Their premium will not be the same, definitely. So that's another factor you have to consider. How much will these people survive with? How will they survive with this amount? Will this be okay for them? Or do I just want to cover for my funeral? Or do I just want to cover for my mortgage? Or do I want to cover for my repatriation back to Africa? So all this you have to think about before you start making your choice for your sum assured.
So you see, there's 5 factors, okay? So you cannot tell me or tell any insurance person, or even when you're Googling, but so and so is paying £20. Oh, but that's expensive. I thought it's £10. No, because all these things have to be put in consideration. Your age, your lifestyle, your medical, your term, which is the length, and the sum assured, which is how much you want. Somebody says they want 1 million to cover themselves for 1 million. Somebody says they want to cover themselves for 20,000. These two cannot be on the same level. The 1 million will be paying so much money than the 20,000. So you cannot compare yourself with somebody else. So every single person, your insurance is tailored to your own needs and affordability. And I think that's why I like Precise Protect as well. The fact that we tailor everybody's insurance policy
to their personal needs and wants. Because you can't just take insurance for insurance sake. You need to know why you need that insurance. And when you're thinking about that why, that's where the sum assured comes in. So a lot of people goes for funeral cover, repatriation, pay off mortgage. So you need to think of how much all this will cost. Then how much are you going to leave for your loved ones? That's another thing you have to put into consideration. So once you have this thought of the amount, then you now make your choice of how much you want to cover. So if you say 50,000, will 50,000 be enough? Will that pay off your mortgage, or do you just want something that will give them a head start? Maybe 10,000 each to your 2 children, or 15,000 each to them to start a new life, which is fair and good, depending on what you want.
Okay, so that's fine as well. And maybe just one thing before we call it a quits today is different types of insurance. Okay, so we do have different types of insurance, and I know some people say that, oh, I don't want, because only when I die, my parents didn't leave anything for me. That's a very selfish mentality. First of all, I'll say that, and I don't care what you think about me saying that, but it is a very selfish mentality, saying my parents did not leave anything, so my children will have to suffer. No, if I leave it for my children, they'll spoil it. Come on, teach your children how to spend money. Teach your children how not to spoil it. And don't say my parents didn't leave something for me, because you're not bringing up your children the way your parents brought you up. So why would you choose the one that suits you best? That, oh, let me bring them up like this, but then I won't leave anything because my dad didn't leave anything. So that's a selfish thought. So now we do have different types. For those who think, I don't want to leave anything behind because it's only when I die that my selfish wife or my selfish husband, I don't want to leave anything behind. We do have different types. So we have one that they can use before they die. So which one?
Yeah, before we go into those different types, because I love what you said before going into that. Why? I would say that you need to know why insurance is important first. Because if your parents didn't leave it for you, anything for you, maybe your parents are not aware of the importance of insurance.
Thank you.
Or maybe where they are coming from, insurance is not as it used to be here, over there. So if you look at insurance, you need to know why it's important. And for me, I think I will say 6 good reasons. You know why insurance is important. You need to think of financially comfortable for your loved ones when you're not there. You need to see them that they have to move home. Because let's say they are living in a flat and you're no more there, they cannot maintain the payment anymore.
Yeah, because one payment is gone.
It's gone. So they have to move on, and they need something to fall back to be able to move. And you have to prepare them for the unexpected. That's another thing. And you don't have to. They don't have to cut back on their lifestyle.
Yes.
Because that's something that leads a lot of people into depression. A lot of young boys and young girls into depression.
Yes.
If you listen to the news yesterday, there's somebody on the news, all over the news. I'm not going to mention them for data breaching or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
The person lost his dad. This guy is a big guy. He's a very big personality in the United Kingdom. He lost his father, and bam, he went into depression. He stopped living. And depression is just one day or one night. Almost a year or two, he was in depression. He was just nowhere to be found, and people were just thinking, what happened to him? Until he now came out to say what hit him, the loss of his father. And then have to buy what they need.
Yes. Because
they won't, you can't just die and they'll go hungry. It's not fair on them. And these guys might be under 18 or under 16. So what do you expect them to do? So you just need a lever. So that takes me to insurance. There are a lot of insurance covers which you can
And
get.
just before you go into insurance covers again, with just what you say that they will need money for this. You know, some people will say that, yeah, but I'll do GoFundMe 15K or 20K, that would be enough. But 15K or 20K, that half of that or most of that will go into your funeral. And then what have you left behind for your
the children? Exactly.
For your loved ones.
Even the GoFundMe will take another 2-3 months to come.
Yeah.
Because nobody didn't give anybody money to keep for you.
Yeah. Exactly.
So people will donate, but they will think twice. How much do I have to donate?
Yes.
I remember speaking to one of my pastor's friend. He said he needs me to come to their church because his welfare post is going down every day, and the church is not contributing for their members' funeral. That they raise the fund, and only thing they see is £20, £10. He said about out of 50 of them, only 2 or 3 people get £50.
Wow. So they need insurance.
So he said that he want me to come and speak to his members.
Yeah.
So they let them get this insurance to ease the burden on the church, and the welfare post could be for something, not just for somebody's funeral or something like that. So that's the thing. GoFundMe is good, but how long will it take?
It's not sustainable.
And it's not sustainable, and it's not going to come immediately. It takes some people 3-4 months, 5 months. How popular are you that people just donating money for your funeral? That's another thing you ask yourself.
It's true. Even me, that I know that I'm a little bit popular, probably I might just get £200.
Exactly.
That's not enough for me at all.
Exactly.
And don't forget I'm a Luo, so I have to go back with Luo style. That's like 50K funeral. You understand?
Exactly.
So if I go before you, you must spend 50K. Let's go.
So the if you talk of the kinds of insurance, life insurance is there, but there are life insurance that you don't have to. The person don't have to die before he makes a claim.
Yeah.
That's why I keep telling people, when was the last time you reviewed your insurance? Because most insurance now has options of taking your money when the person has a serious illness.
Yes.
Even heart attack that you survive, you make your claim, collect your lump sum, do whatever you want to do, and probably you're not going to get insurance anymore, but you can get funeral cover and other covers. You know, and you get critical illness.
So we have terminal illness and critical illness. Those are things that you can claim when you're still alive.
When you're still alive.
Okay.
And you have income protection.
We also have income protection.
When you lose your job, by maybe when you're sick and your company lays you off, so no, we can't continue paying you again.
You're sick, you're injured, or you're in an accident.
Or you're in an accident. The insurance will pay you about 65 to 85% of your wages without tax. So that's a very good, important policy for any person working, any human being working on earth. You need that income protection.
Did you hear that? Any human being working on earth. Where else are we supposed to work? Pluto.
Well, you know, I'm passionate about this because I've got a lot of friends.
Yes.
And family members that lost their job because of injury or something, and they keep asking for a handout. And you say, bro, I reminded you of this
insurance.
Why did you
income
take
protection.
He said, no, but you go to club every Friday night. You spend £100, £50. This is monthly premium.
But it's their right to go to club. They can
they're allowed to go, but you have to make budget for the important thing.
The thing is priority. So if I'm going to club, which everybody's allowed to do whatever they want, but if you're going to club, if it's £100 you're going to spend, take this £100 and say, okay, I'm going to spend maybe £20 on my cigarette, £30 on my alcohol, £20 buying friends. You have £20 left. Have priority. Put that £20 in your insurance.
Exactly.
So and that's a week. So but if it's £20 a week, that's how much is that? You know, I don't know math.
£20 a week is about
0.0100.
£20 a week is for a week is 40, 80 pounds.
I thought you went to school for maths.
£80 for a month.
Are you sure?
Yeah. £20 every Friday.
So 20 plus 20, that's 40. Plus 20, 60. Plus 20, 80. It's not 120, eh?
£80 a month.
It's not 120, it's 80. So that's £80 a month. So that's a very good policy to have in place.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Okay, so now tell us about and then there's also private medical. So we have income protection, we have critical illness, we have life insurance, of course, that will also cover terminal illness and critical illness, and we also have private medical.
Medical, that's another good insurance cover. These private medicals, Okay, I will go with UK now. We have NHS here. That's what the excuse people always give.
Yes, the NHS is
NHS
free.
is there because it's free.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't know the time you wait to get an appointment with NHS these days. And God bless you, have a surgery and you are in pain. It's not something you can go in and get the date.
Yes.
You have to be on painkiller for 6 months, 7 months, 2 years.
Waiting for
NHS
yes.
appointment.
Yes.
So with private medicals, just bam, they'll give you an appointment tomorrow. Just call them, and they give you any treatment you want to fight. You've not had that illness before. You're covered for any treatment. If they can transport you to America, Canada, Europe for your treatment. Even with your family member traveling with you, they still cover your accommodations, hospital bills. Any tests, investigation you have with your health, just call them. They will give you a date immediately. This is not something you have to wait for NHS. I know somebody is waiting for NHS since 2019.
Yeah, I know people are waiting for NHS for a very long time. And just that we're talking about private medical, I just want to say something. And guys, God is my witness. This is real. I have private medical. Thank God I can afford it. So I just say thank God for that. I thank God for that I can afford to pay for it. And my family, we went for MOT. I just put it out on Facebook the other day. We went for MOT of body MOT, and they found some red, the amber light on me and red, and they said my inside, that means my inside is 10 years older than me. Can you imagine? 10 years. That freaked me out. I was like, what? This is something that NHS doesn't do. So my inside was 10 years older than me, and they told me I have to do A, B, C, D. If I don't, in some years coming or next year or few months, they did not give me the exact time. This and this and this can happen to me. So you have a choice. Do you want to go into the treatment, do what they ask you to do to prevent that? Or I would not have known that if it wasn't for private medical. And that's not it. My own daughter, she came with an amber as well. And the funny thing is, I was just telling you, Chidozie, today, both of my two daughters came with amber and red. And there's no way we could have found this if we didn't have private. So my daughter went to NHS. They gave her appointment for November the 3rd. That's my daughter's appointment with NHS, November the 3rd. She called private medical because I told her just go to the NHS first because I just wanted to see if this thing really works. She went to the private. She called today. The next day she was given an appointment. The next day with private, she was given an appointment. So I'm so glad I'm paying for private, because you don't know, how can you wait until November? What if something happens between now and November and you're still waiting for NHS? And some people have been waiting for 1 year, 2 years. For what? And you can actually afford it. That's the thing. There's some people who can't afford it. Fair enough. Some people cannot afford it. But I'm talking to the ones that can afford it. I'm talking to the ones who have their priorities misplaced. Those are the ones I'm talking to. So guys, private medical is very, very important. What other thing do we have? So we have income protection, critical illness, private medical, terminal illness into there as well. Do you have anything else? Income protection, very important.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have anything?
And another thing I want to add here, that if you have a business, your business can pay for your insurance cover.
That's a nice one. That's a nice one. That's called relevant life.
Relevant life. Even apart from being paid for it, your business pays it because you're not taxed on it. So it's deducted before you've been taxed. So that's a good thing. If you have a business, even if you're self-employed, include your premiums into your business.
I like that you brought it up. So there's relevant life, guys. Anybody who has a business out there, if you have your business and you have a business account, you can take insurance for private medical, life insurance, critical illness, and every year you claim it back on a corporate tax. So it's like the government, they're paying for your insurance, they're paying for your private medical, they're paying for, and you can put all the employers, employees for the company. Every single person can be insured. You can be insured for private medical, life insurance, and critical illness. Only income protection, I think they don't cover.
They don't
Only
have.
income protection.
Income protection, they cover it themselves. Right, from their own pocket, not
from your own pocket.
From the business.
But life insurance, critical illness, and private medical, if you have a business, take advantage of this. It's called Relevant Life. You can go and Google it before you call me or you call Chidozie. You can go and Google it. It's called Relevant Life. So you pay from your company, and then every year you get it back from corporate tax. So that's something that if I had a company, I'll be jumping like this, because it's free, really. It's free, totally free. Okay. So because of time, Chidozie, is there anything you want to say? On your last remarks to the audience?
Yeah. My last remark to all the audience is get insurance wherever you are. Even if you are in Africa, get an insurance cover. You're in Europe, get an insurance cover. In America, get an insurance cover, because you don't want to leave problems for your loved ones. Especially if you have children growing up. Your loss alone is a big blow to them. Talk less from when they don't have where to sleep the next day.
That's important.
So, and insurance is not that expensive. It's something you pay for when you don't expect it, when you don't expect anything to happen. So please, guys, get insurance cover.
Okay, thank you very much. This word that they say, better safe than sorry. That's what insurance is. Better safe than sorry. And prevention is better than cure. So better safe than sorry, prevention is better than cure. Okay, and 1 second can make a big difference.
Definitely.
1 second. Nobody knows tomorrow, guys. Nobody knows the next second. Nobody knows the next minute. Anything can happen to you at any time. There's this girl. It's so sad. I think that's one of the saddest deaths I've seen. I mean, every death is sad, but this one was beyond. This girl actually died when she was on Facebook Live.
The swimmer.
The lady was
swimming.
Who was
on the swimming pool. I saw the video.
You saw the video. No. Very, very sad. That was super sad. And she was just saying she was actually talking to people. She was actually talking to her friends. She was saying, "Oh, I'm having fun. I'm from work." She's even asking one of her friends, "Oh, you're working?" She's saying, "Oh, how do you feel after the elections?" She was just talking, and then the next second, this girl is gone. She did not know that was her last day. So that's why nobody knows their last day. Nobody knows tomorrow. Not even tomorrow is too far. Forget tomorrow. Nobody knows the next second in their life. So when people say, "I've never been sick, I don't need insurance," it has nothing to do with you being sick or you've never been sick. It has nothing to do with that. So guys, prevention is better than cure. Let's sort our lives out. Let's just sort our lives out. Let's start living rather than just surviving. Let's start living. Let's start getting some life insurance out. And also the people who are in Kenya, just like Chidozie have said, even if you're in Africa, you need insurance. I'll talk to people in Kenya. NHIF. Guys, NHIF is very, very important. Take it. I know some people think, "Oh, hiyo kitu haisaidiangi ni mauongo." Inasaidia. It helps. Because he helped my dad. The bill they gave us when my dad was in the hospital for 3 months, I was like, "Hey, how are you going to pay for this?" But because he has NHIF, he helped a lot. He cut almost half of that bill. So NHIF is very important. That's insurance in Kenya for health. So guys, get insurance, be covered, stay safe. And also, just before we finish, I'll just say we are praying for my country, Kenya. Because my country, Kenya, right now is going through a very hard time. But we're praying for Kenya. We're praying for justice and we're praying for peace. So those two things go hand in hand. We cannot say we are only praying for peace and we leave justice. Or we cannot say we're praying for justice and we leave peace. So we are praying for both justice and peace in my country, Kenya, right now. So everybody else who is watching this, please, let's join hands together and pray for my country, Kenya. And if you're a Kenyan, let's continue praying for Kenya. Because I know every single person is praying for Kenya right now. Because all we want to see is one love. because at the end of the day, we are all Kenyans. Those politicians, we go home, they phone each other, they're having dinner, they're eating together, they're laughing. Meanwhile, we are fighting, hating each other. Kikuyu and Luos fighting each other. Kalenjins, we are fighting each other. Kambas, Masai. And then at the end of the day, their children are marrying each other. Their children are friends. Their children meet in expensive clubs. Their children are in, they take their children in Maju. Maju means outside the country. They take them to civilized world, like they call it. Some of them are in America, Australia, Switzerland. What are you doing? You're living in one room in Kenya, or you're living in a slum, or you're living in, you're squatting with people, and yet you're fighting, killing each other, destroying things for these same politicians who are friends. So guys, let's mind how we live. Let's live in peace and harmony. Let's live in peace and harmony. And I pray for justice, and I pray for peace in Kenya. Until then, guys, let me say I'll see you again next week on Wednesday. Yes, I'll see you again next week on Wednesday, the same time, 6:30 p.m. 6:30 p.m. UK time, 8:30 p.m. Kenyan time. You know where to find us, always here. And as we always say, stand out, speak up. But before I log off, I just want Chidozie to give us where we can find him, if we want to call him. Chidozie, where can we find you?
Okay, you can get me on my phone number 077-144-19396. My office is at Canary Wharf, number 40 Bank Street, Canary Wharf. Okay, so he works in Canary Wharf, 40 Bank Street. But what's your that number again? Can you say 077 144 19396. 19396. Yes. Okay, guys, that's how you can get Chidozie if you want to talk to Chidozie about insurance. And he also works, we both work in Canary Wharf, 40 Bank Street. That's where our offices are. So if you want to pop in for a cup of tea, a Canary Wharf cup of tea, the one they drink like this, you're welcome. So you can come anytime. But for me, you know where to find me. You can Facebook me, and I know a lot of people have my number out there anyway, so you can always call me as well. Until then, love you, and remember, it can only be God. See ya. Peace. Peace out.